Hi, welcome back to the class R for Journalists. We're still in the chapter Wrangling Data, and in this section we're going to learn how to deal with strings. So I am in my project folder, Learn Chapter 3 Master. I'm in the folder Strings, pulling up my RMD file. I also have a blank script to deal with. So we're going to be using the package string R, also created by Hadley Wickham, in conjunction with the package dplyr. So it's string R if you don't have it installed yet, and then load library string R. So each function in string R starts with str underscore. You see a bunch of these options. So let's load the data in from the website. And we're going to call it messy. So creating a new data frame. So let's see what it looks like. Got names, email addresses, income, phone number, activities. Can you see how many problems there are? For one thing, some of them are lowercase. The phone numbers are inconsistent. Sometimes I think there's... Oh, it's not. Okay. So here are some tasks that you'll run into frequently when you're dealing with data like this as a journalist. Is you want a column for first and last name. You want to convert all the names to title case. You want to create a new variable identifying bad email addresses. You want to convert income to a new number in US dollars. You see that E, 8,500. And you want to create a new variable counting how many activities each person is engaged in. So we can break activities into a set of useful dummy codes. But go to the site, and you'll see a bunch of elements, the str elements like string length, string combine, string sub, string detect, string match, string count. Very useful when you're cleaning data, which is what you often have to deal with in journalism. So let's see. First of all, let's check out, let's create a new array called X, and we're going to fill it with Bill, Bob, and William. And a function we're going to try out is string length, str underscore length, X. And it gives us the number of characters in each of those array objects. So what if you wanted to combine strings? You just use the formula str underscore c. And so this is what it looks like. Strings, comma, sep equals whatever. So you can separate it with a space, with nothing, with like a dash. You have a lot of options. So let's create a new copy and paste the data frame from the site. So we're going to create a new data set called data, and it'll look like this. Headquarters, ID, and a number. So we can add a string to each value in the number column this way. So data is data, area pipe, mutate, of course, and you want to combine them. So a new variable called combined equals str underscore c for string combine, and then add the string num, colon, comma, and then the name of the variable, which is in the data frame number. So let's try that. Let's type in data, see what it looks like. There it is, combined, num, colon, space, 001. There are a couple of other options that would have done the same thing. You could try the old-fashioned way, kind of by referring to the column itself, data $ combined, str underscore c, num, colon, and then data $ number. That does the same thing. Another thing you could have done is data to data. I should just copy this, put it back in the script. Let me go to the script first of all. Mutate combined equals string combine, and then num. And instead of putting the colon there, I'm gonna add it at the end with sep equals separated with a colon and space, and that's gonna be the same thing. There it is. You can also pass the variable collapse to str_c if you're turning an array of strings into one. So for example, let me get back into the script. So data group by place, pipe it to summarize, and now I'm going to create a new variable from summary called IDS underscore combined equals strc this time, number, and then collapse. So let's see what happens here. So that combined everything in that number column 01, 02, 03, and it collapsed it. And in between the collapse, we included a dash. We could change this up to like smiley face. Why not? Okay, subset strings. What if you wanted to replace stuff? So string, well, let's say you start with Dr. James. You can, there it is, Dr. James. str sub x 1 and 3. So you see here, subset string. It pulled the letters between 1 and 3. So that gave you doctor. Now you can do this the other way. You can say str sub x 1, 3, and then assign it a Mr. And now what do you get with x? You've got a civilian. Well, I guess doctors are civilians too. You've demoted him. He no longer has the honorary. Okay. You can also do negative numbers on the right. str sub x -3, -1. So it went the other way. It went with the last 3 letters. Okay. You can match patterns with regular expressions with str view. So let's say I have an array of Bill, Bob, and David. What if I did a string view of x now with il? So it lets you show the regular expression patterns that you've given it. Try it again. Look for .l . So this looks before and after a particular letter. It's quite powerful, regex. I suggest you look into it later on if you really want to get into cleaning and extracting data from strings. There's a little bit of an intro in the walkthrough. I'm gonna kind of skip that part for now and go straight to detect matches. So string, let's start with x, once again C. I guess we'll stick with Bill and Bob and David, give him a last name this time, Williams, with a period in between, because why not? Dirty data. X looks like Bill, Bob, and David Williams. So, what if we did string detect for X and looked for IL? It would give you true, false, true, because there's an IL in Bill, there's no IL in Bob, and there's an IL in David Williams. This is useful for if you're doing some advanced filtering stuff later on. What else? Count matches. So str count. Let's do X is assault, robbery, and kidnapping. Let's say you're dealing with like some like 911 data, and it comes in here like that. String count, and this time I'll pass it. How often are there dashes in there? 2. This would be a useful way to kind of try to count up the number of offenses if all of them are structured this way. So str count X for backslashes, and then +1. So now you know 3. Exact matches. Let's say we've got, what was it, data? No, messy. Here it is, messy email. What if I wanted to find emails? So I would have to do string extract for data. Sorry, it was under messy, wasn't it? Messy email. And I'm going to look for, there's some regex here happening, at dot plus / dot com dollars. Okay, so you see it pulled out data for all the emails, at least if they were actually emails. It wouldn't pick up the bad email with the $sign in it. Okay, so let's go back to our original idea, which was to separate first name from last name. So we have, once again, was it messy name? Those are first and last names. We need to separate them. So let's try the function string split, str underscore split, and then it's messy name. Split it with, and it's going to split where there's a space, and then add simplify equals true. So now you have got 2 mini arrays. So to deal with that, you just need to do first string split and add these square brackets, and because we want to pull the second column, right? Remember back in the intro where we talked about how to grab stuff from the columns or the rows based on where the column is. So we've got first name, and then we've got a last name, and we don't want to pull the second array, we want to put the first one. So first and last, and we have first and we have last. Okay, well, yeah, that'll do. Dojon, though, we're gonna have to fix that later on. Replace the pattern. Let's say we have what? X is John Smith, Mary Todd, and Bill Hollis. We can string replace X for any vowels. I gotta put in quotes with a dash. Okay. Well, the first vowel that it notices it replaced. If you want to replace all of them, you have to just use the function str replace underscore all. And that's that. Okay, this happens often, which is you need to change a case. Remember, what was it? It was a messy name. Jane Doe needs to be capitalized. A way to do that is to use the function str to title. Pass it what you want to change it to. Here we go, Jane Doe. It's nice. We can also do the also string to upper is an option. Because why not? All uppercase. And on the opposite, you can do string to lower to get the lowercase for all the characters. The last thing we're going to discuss is string trim. Often when you're dealing with dirty data, it's just it will pick up spaces and it will cling to them. So let's say X is clingy, space, 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 or even like have a couple spaces beforehand, because maybe you parsed it from a PDF, you know, it happens. So if I was to join this later on to another variable, to another data frame with clingy in there, it would not join successfully because there's all these spaces around this clingy, and I wouldn't know that unless I look specifically at it. So a quick way to do this is to str trim. There you go. Okay. Congrats. We've marathon through a lot. We just sprinted through dealing with strings. Go through the walkthrough if you want to get more details. Check out these other functions. And next we will look at how to deal with dates.